Good morning, good evening, and thank you to the management of our SCBC for giving me this platform to introduce myself to the Southern Cameroon Ambazonian community. I am Tabenyang Etchu, and I am the Secretary of State for the Department of Economy and Finance in the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. I want to take this opportunity to thank Maurice, the Maurice organization, and his spokesperson, Ntumfoin Bo Hubbard, for giving me the opportunity to serve as the financial controller of this organization. I also want to thank the SCNC and the SYL leadership, Comrade Dr. F.R.A and Comrade Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, the Firebrand Agency leader, Comrade Cho Ayaba, the resilient Deacon Tarson, and the calm, steady, and deliberate His Excellency Sisiku Julius Ayok Tabe. Also special thanks to these very strong, bold, and active women in the struggle. Barrister Nalova B, Ms. Kalesh Bongo, and Dr. Elizabeth Ambe for their sacrifice, dedication, and commitment, and the love they have shown to our refugees. I think the President and these frontline leaders are at a high personal risk to themselves and their families, have sacrificed it all, and sometimes we turn to ruthlessly beat on them in complete disregard of this personal sacrifice. Personally, I think any mistakes, perceived misappropriation, and even the claim of illegitimacy pales in comparison to 56 years of turf, misappropriation, subjugation, disrespect of our people and land by the genocidal crime syndicate in Yaoundé. The surrogates of these movements and the IG should take a step back, direct their anger towards Yaoundé and the international community instead of against one another. We should stop talking to ourselves and a group of 250 members on WhatsApp and get back to the spirit of this struggle. The Cameroon government have taken everything from us and stripped us of our dignity, humiliated our ancestral lands, raped our women, kidnapped, detained, and slaughtered our leaders in cold blood. And now they have come for the last thing our people hold so dear to their hearts, which is their happiness, to live in their poverty and desolation and lack of opportunity in their ancestral land. We are not going to go back to the bad old days of ignorance, the bad old days of ignorance and oppression and hiding who we are. The world now knows we are proud citizens of Ambazonia. As tears well up the eyes of our people and their voices cracked under the strain of the emotions, I want to say we owe it to our people who have died for our rights, who have died before they even getting their own rights, that we would deliver on the promise of our own homeland. With this in mind, I want to say I weep for my beloved Manu. I long for the time to hop on a boat down the river to Badje, to Agbokem German, to Esagam, to Nsanakan, to Nsanarati, to Agbonandu, and to Egbeko. I wish for the time I can go down and take a bath on the Agbokem waterfall. My heart bleeds for my people in Kajifu. My heart bleeds for my people in Otu and Babong. Death and fear and desolation grips the land of our ancestors. When I look at Manu today as a young man who grew up there, many questions come to my mind, and many times I ask myself, what will happen if our great leaders, like Chief Mbengbisam, Chief F.R.A, Chief Michael Tabenyang, Chief Professor Peter Agbotabi, Chief Dr. A.D. Mengot, were to rise up and see what is going on in Manyu? Because what they will be confronted with is a division that is unsettled. They will be confronted with a division where our most vulnerable, weak, elderly, women and children are ordered to vacate their ancestral land to unknown destinations in a premeditated and carefully calculated attempt to wipe out our traditions and desecrate our lands by a colonial SDO. And instead of us coming together, we have condemned and resist these actions. We have turned against one another. A division where our children are locked up, some are in the forest, some lives have changed forever. And a segment of our population celebrates and remain indifferent. They will be confronted with a division where our powerful chiefs like Chief James Tato, Chief Tabe Tando Ndip Nso, Chief Godson Orok Oben, our senators, our parliamentarians, Ms. Suzanne Opu, Governor Eno Tanjong, and Chief Anja Simon, and our diaspora sesekus and elites sit quiet and witness their kingsmen walk days in the jungle, exposed to the elements, with no food, and are currently scavenging in neighboring Nigeria. And everybody is quiet. Today we have been awoken to another devastating inferno in the lone Manfe main market, and the sickening and deafening silence from our seriously compromised political elites. Manyu is being taken to the gas chambers of the Gestapo crime syndicate in Yaoundé as a price for accepting to provide a leader for the liberation of Southern Cameroons. It is a terrible shame to witness. The people of Southern Cameroons and Ambazonian must stand up to the defense of Manyu. And you can do this with your donations. We must send a loud statement to Yaoundé that we will not back down and will stand with Manyu with our donations. This is no time for small donations. This is not time or the moment that we have to sacrifice a one-time, moderate, and big donation in support and defense of this struggle. Manyu have been hit hard in the battle against the Republic of Cameroon, but she will not lose this war. No, she is done. The way I see it, she has brought the light of dawn to a new mission for all of us. That mission is to provide funding for this struggle, to hasten our departure from the Republic of Cameroon. This is no time for talk of division and legitimacy, or question the commitment of any group or individuals in this struggle, because sadness, fear, and desolation has engulfed our land. Weep for our broken tribe and abandoned villages, for the traditional law and custom that is gone. Let us weep aloud for our men who are dead, and for the women and children, orphaned and bereaved. We weep for our homeland because this carnage by the Yaoundé regime is not ending anytime soon. Have no doubt there is fear in the land, and even in our communities here in the diaspora. For what can our people do when the government has grown lawless? Who can peacefully pack their luggages now for a trip to Southern Cameroons without the fear of the insecurity on the ground, or the fear of either being turned back at the airport or arrested? Very soon it may not be only the forces of lawlessness targeting those Southern Cameroonians coming from the diaspora. The angry masses of Southern Cameroons who are losing their loved ones will soon start going after those from the diaspora who successfully enter southern Cameroon. This is because they believe the only way any southern Cameroonian could now enter Cameroon successfully is if they are collaborating with the government or they are not supporting the struggle. What most people did when this struggle started was permissible. It was permissible to ignore and dismiss the struggle as loud-sounding and social media activists. It was permissible to be indifferent, but it is no longer permissible to be indifferent to the plight of our people. This call is to all the alumni organizations, the divisional associations, the village associations, the Njangi groups, and trade associations from southern Cameroon and Ambazonian. We have to stand up and protect the rights of our people. It was permissible when we felt the government was within her rights to crack down on agitators to maintain law and order. But in the light of what we know now, the rapes, the abductions, the arrests, the killing, the forceful deportation of our people from their ancestral lands, it is no longer permissible. It is no longer permissible for us to be indifferent to the destruction of family life and the plight of our refugees in foreign lands, some in the forests, some drowning in crocodile-infested waters, when we know that our inactions are affecting the situation negatively. How do we reconcile our Christian moral beliefs to celebrate in pomp and pageantry when our tribesmen are in desolate and life-threatening conditions in the jungles and exposed to the elements? It is not permissible to watch the destruction of villages and hold people deteriorate mentally and physically. This is a call to your conscience. And as you stand in front of the mirror, please ask yourself, what can I do for this struggle? How can I support? How can I contribute my widow's mite to move this struggle forward? We do not wish to make this struggle or the problem seem smaller, nor make its solutions any easier, or make light of the fears of our people. But whether we are fearful or not, we shall never, because we are a Christian people, be able to avoid the moral issues of our conscience. I have so much respect for the SCNC and the SYL, and I can understand and sympathize with the frustration of Dr. Ebenezer Kwanga sometimes. It is reprehensible, shameful, and terrible that almost 70 to 80% of southern Cameroonians in the diaspora, most gain their residency using asylum and the sacrifices of the dead heroes of these two great movements. And yet, most of them have been indifferent to this struggle to the point where it is nauseating. Some use the asylum derivative to bring their wives and other family members in these places. But some still see nothing wrong with the brutality, and some are even siding with the government. It is sad and a terrible situation. Even the brutality and human suffering that the government is inflicting on our people, where is our Christian moral authority and conscience? We are celebrating end-of-year parties where food and drinks are overflowing and abandoned. We are rushing into shops to buy winter clothes, though we have lots of them in our closets. And behold, we pay lip service or no attention to the plight and suffering of our people in the neighboring villages in Nigeria. Where is our conscience and sense of solidarity? Are we this stone-hearted like the lion man in Etchu? Is it written anywhere that the Unionists, the Federalists, and even some restorationists cannot come to the assistance of their brothers and sisters in the face of this senseless slaughter and mayhem? I strongly believe that the answer is no. No, because we are a Christian people. No, because we look after one another. No, because it's a proper and right thing to do, to go back and assist our people in their time of desperation and need. And this is the time. This is the moment. Let's prove to Yaoundé that the Southern Cameroon people are unique, dedicated, and committed to one another. So we are looking for support from our community. Now, I think it's always very difficult for you to come to people and ask them for money. The very first question people are going to ask you is, why should I give you my money? Why should I trust you to donate money or to assist you in what you're asking me? I strongly believe that trust and credibility are key. Too often, we have taken the donations of our people for granted. And I believe strongly that the only way that we can regain that trust is to put in place a credible, transparent structure that can stand the test of time. People are dying to support this struggle, but we have to give them a reason to donate to this struggle. We have to work with them. We have to make them understand that there is a necessity, that there is a high demand for support to our refugees in Nigeria. We have to find a way to make our people understand that it is imperative. But one thing we need to make them understand the most is that when they give us their money, we are going to be accountable for their hard-earned dollars or whatever currency that you will be assisting this struggle to help alleviate the sufferings of our people. Now, when I assumed the position, or when I was appointed to this position, I have taken some time to look at some of the difficulties and some of the areas that the movement or the SCACUF entity had put in place, some of the good things that were done, some of the things that were not done right. I did also bring onto the table the experience and some of the difficulties I saw in my position as the financial controller of the Maurice organization. I think one of the most difficult experience has been that we have not clearly defined to our people why they should give us money. And we have not demonstrated to them that this money is tied to some deliverable goals. Most of the time, personally, I think it's not no longer enough to go out and tell people to donate money for you to fund the struggle. No. I think you should be able at this time, or at this moment of the struggle, to tell people that please donate money for diplomacy. And why are you donating money for diplomacy? We've been donating money for diplomacy. I think at this time, diplomacy or the leaders of this movement should be ready to tell us that they are taking money for diplomacy because they can actually secure recognition for the Federal Republic of Ambazonia with other countries internationally, that they will need this money for diplomacy to establish embassy and consular services when these international recognitions are obtained. That they should give money to our refugee causes. What exactly are we giving monies to the refugees for? We're asking for money for a settlement. We're asking for money to provide counseling to those displaced because of the stress and the burden and the suffering that they are going through. We're asking for money for refugees to provide food. We're asking for money for refugees to provide medical screening and treatment clinics to support the education of the now displaced or young ones. We are asking for money too to support our NGOs like the Tabenyang Relief for the marvelous job that they have been doing. But we should also be mindful that this struggle is a people's struggle. The people of Southern Cameroon are asking us consistently, what are we doing for the defense of the territory? I want to thank all the self-defense groups that are operating in our territory to defend lives and property of our people. And this government is going to commit to the aspiration of the Southern Cameroon people. This government remains a pacifist government because we believe in the force of argument and not the argument of force. But we reserve the ultimate right to self-defense. We cannot allow our people to be dragged to the gas chambers without us acting. So the government has listened to the call from the Southern Cameroon's people to set up a self-defense department. That is called the Department of Defense. So we are going to be asking for funding for this Department of Defense. We would need funding to provide assistance to all Ambazonian defense groups operating in our land, because this is the role of the government. The government is going to vet these groups. We're asking for funding for defense to recruit, train, and support Ambazonian Department of Defense forces. We're asking for funding to provide logistics. We're asking for funding to consult with professionals. This is the time to defend our homeland. And we want to make sure that for these same citizens who have overwhelmingly been asking for defense of homeland to go to the website and select the defense option to fund this struggle. We of the government would only believe that we are seriously and ready to defend the territory by your donations. Your donations would determine that we are committed and serious about engaging in the defense of our territory. People in Manu are being slaughtered in their numbers, and we cannot allow this to go indefinitely. We must make the government understand that we have a right to defend ourselves and our families and our properties and our ancestors and our places of worship. So we are asking for donations for defense. We're asking for money to support education, our teachers and our lawyers who have been out of work for almost 12 months today, and to prepare our students through counseling for possible school resumption very soon. We are also asking for money for communication. We need to take our case to all the media houses in the global media scenario. It is very important that we counter the propaganda from the government in Yaoundé to try to paint this struggle as a group of terrorists trying to disrupt the peace and tranquility in the Republic of Cameroon. We are proud Ambazonians, and it is our duty and right to defend our territory. So we are asking for your donations. We have come up with several ways that you can donate. These ways would be, some of these various options will be put out. I don't want to take your time. Some of these options will be put out on the website. We're going to put small podcasts on all the various social media platforms on the various ways that you can donate. And we are also looking to make sure that you feel a piece of Southern Cameroon whenever you make a donation. So if you donate $100 to $200 to this struggle now, that donation is going to come with a thank you note signed by the Secretary General of the Department of Economy and Finance. If you donate $300 to $499 or whatever currency that you're donating with, you can do the conversion. This is going to come with a thank you note from the Advisory Council and the first edition of the Federal Government Executive Calendar. If you give us $500 to $999, this will come with a government ID card of the Federal Republic of Ambazonian, a calendar, a signed thank you note from the President, and a signed thank you note from the President. If you give us $1,000 to $2,499, this is going to come together with an ID card, a calendar, a signed thank you note from the President, and a passport. Please remember, the passport would be in addition to meeting up with all the requirements of being a citizen of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. If you give us above $2,500 to $5,000, this will come with all of the above and a future access to our parliamentary sessions. If you give us $5,000 to $9,900 each, this would come with your name being inscribed in a particular section of our federal buildings nationwide. It also comes together with all of the above. If you give us $10,000 and above each, this will come with your name on the Federal Republic of Ambazonia founding fathers and mothers. That will be inscribed on some landmark or the Federal Museum. Brothers, you can donate whatever little amount you got, but we need this money upfront at this time. There's a monthly payment of $20 for citizens levy, and this gets it up to $240 at the end of the year, and you are also going to benefit within that range of any benefit from $200 and above. We are also going to roll out massive community fundraisers and goodwill and material gifts. This will include phone bank talkathons, fundraising parties, and community outreach. Mostly this would be conducted by countries and regions. We in turn, and we're setting up a wide network of community activists and fundraisers. We are promising to reach out to all our alumni organizations, all the community associations, and any other stakeholders, our churches. We are going to use those networks to raise money for this struggle. We are also going to ask for those who can afford to provide us with refundable loans. At this time, we're going to plead with you that this is going to be no interest loans. But because you believe in the plight and suffering of the people of Ambazonia, we plead with you that when you offer us these loans, we would guarantee you that this money will be refunded to you. We are also going to ask people who can go out there and canvass for support for this struggle, that if you raise more than $10,000, we're going to give you a percentage of what you have raised. We're going to give you 10% of what you raised. So we are encouraging bundlers, master fundraisers, that the more you bring into this struggle, the higher you're going to make as a discount for your sacrifice to this struggle. We'd love to get everything, but we want also to make sure to motivate you to go out there. So go out there, people, and support the cause of the Southern Cameroon Ambazonian people. We are going to provide several options. I think there are 5 of them for you to provide this payment to us. We're going to use the internet. Most of it is going to happen online. So you can go directly to www.ambagov.org and select on the options that you're going to use. They're going to be dropped down on the various amounts that you can donate. And you can also choose exactly what you're going to donate. You can choose, because there is a challenge for the various states. The 13 divisions that we have right now, that would automatically be converted to states. When we get down to Boya, there's going to be a challenge among these states. So you can choose to donate to your state of origin, or you can choose to donate to any of the states within the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. You can do a direct deposit on our Bank of America accounts. We have selected 2 accounts. And once you're doing these deposits online or on Cash Apps or on PayPal, there's going to be a drop-down window. For charitable donations, these donations are going to go to the Ambazonian Foundation, Inc. And for all other, these donations are going to go into the Ambazonian Consulting, Inc. These bank accounts would be provided on all the social media platforms and through direct contact with members of our community on how to donate these monies quickly to the organization. So we are calling on all our regional representatives to get to work, to provide the necessary information that is needed. There is the website has been beautifully done. There is guidance on the website. If you need questions, there's going to be a live chat option where you can chat and your questions will be answered. If you have difficulties and you need any assistance, that would be provided on the website. But we want you to trust that these donations that you are going to sacrifice to support the struggle at this time, this support that we're asking from you at these very difficult and critical times, would be accountable. I am going to give you my word that whatever you're going to donate, I would come back to you with results. There is going to be absolute clarity, absolute transparency as far as the monies that will be donated to this organization, to this government, is concerned. I think our people deserve it. Our people deserve to be told the truth when things are not going right, because it is what us in this government are going to do. And I want to assure you, the president has given me a free hand within the department to get things put back into order, to get things done right. And I am going to commit myself, and I'm going to give you my word that whatever we're going to do in this department, the people of Southern Cameroon are going to be a top priority. And transparency is going to be the watchword. So what have we done? We have set up structures, internal control structures, that will be shared with the public very soon. I think by Friday, I am going to be doing interactive question and answer sessions with other social media platforms. Some of these internal control structures that have been put in place will be shared with the public. I want the public to understand that we strongly believe that we need to prove that we deserve your trust. And as long as I am still I'm going to be the Secretary of State in charge of the economy and finance, you and your priorities are going to be my guiding principle. So we are launching this fundraising drive at this moment. We are emotionally distraught. We are emotionally stressed out because of the situation on the ground, and we believe that all of you are in this struggle with us. So show your support. Show us that you are willing to support all the movements. I think the field is too wide for us to focus on one another. And I think it is your responsibility as a people of Southern Cameroon to call your leaders, to call and hold the federal government accountable, that it is incumbent upon the federal government to reach out to our front line leaders for us to move this struggle forward. And I think the federal government is open. I would strongly always encourage dialogue and collaboration within the government with all the front line movements. And I think I want to commend Comrade Dr. Cho Ayaba, who had offered and has called for all the defense movements to come together and plan and strategize for us to take the final push and fight to the government of the Republic of Cameroon. So, and I'm also very thankful to His Excellency Seseku Ayok Tabe for also stretching his hand and accepting with Dr. Cho Ayaba that it is his offer is welcome, and he will be directing his defense department to collaborate with all the movements, because this struggle is bigger than any of us. This struggle is bigger than any individual. This is the time for us to move past the endless and the needless. Focus on one another. We have our main objective, getting to Boya. It is no longer about Dr. Kwanga. It is not about Dr. Choi Ayaba. It's not about Ntumfo Mbo Hubbard. It's not about His Excellency Seseku Yoktabe. It's not about any of us. It's about the people of Southern Cameroons. All of these individuals, in their individual abilities, are focused on the recognition of the sovereignty of the Federal Republic of Ambazonian, and hope that this is the time This is the time that we prove the cynics, the naysayers, wrong, that we can come together as a people to liberate our land, to give hope to our people, to resist the onslaught of our people, to take care of the plight of our people. This is the moment. We have opened the fundraising. Please demonstrate your love and support. I want to announce the creation of 2 government entities. That would be the charitable arm of the government, the Ambazonian Foundation, Inc. This is specifically going to be dealing with the charitable activities of the government. And we have also created a business arm of the government to permit us legally engage in business here in the U.S. So the business arm of the government is going to be the Ambazonian Consulting, Inc. These 2 entities would be the 2 main organizations. And our treasury is going to be the bank accounts of these 2 entities. All other platforms, all other banking information that we have in the federal government have been closed with immediate effect. These 2 entities are going to be our central depository. So all the donations that are going to come in would be accounted for through this depository. I think the accounts with the Braintree and PayPal have already been connected to the Ambazonian Foundation Inc. account. The reason we decided to get these 2 entities is because of the financial and business laws of the United States of America. Given the fact that the seat of these 2 entities are going to be here, there were some limitations with as to what disbursement we can obtain from the foundation. So I think from some legal and financial advice, there was the necessity to now create the Ambazonian Consulting Inc., which is going to officially engage in business with other entities, and I think with even the foundation. So these are the 2 entities that would be representing the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia here in the U.S. And I think the board of directors, particularly of the foundation, I have decided to hold on to the appointments because I'm still supposed to review on the individuals who would be members of that board of directors. They still need to be vetted, but there is a body that is actually running the accounts right now. So I should be able to come to you with the information about the board of directors I think on Friday, when I will be doing or during the weekend when I will be doing live telecast. But I want to proceed with the appointments of the board of directors of the Ambazonian Consulting Inc. because this is the business arm of the government, and I think they are going to get to work as quickly as possible to start identifying investment and other opportunities for the government. So by the authority vested in me, I hereby make the following appointments to the board of directors of the Ambazonian Consulting Inc. Ms. Emerencia Mago, Dr. Fidelis Ndinche, Shufai Valentine Mbinglo, Dr. Peter Ako, Dr. Samuel Sako, Mr. John Talier, Dr. Kwanga Cornelos, Dr. Patience Abiedu, Mr. Stanley Tabi, Ms. Grace Fongwa, and Cheps Mimadon Ade. These are the Pioneer Board of Directors members. of the Ambazonian consulting firm. The attempts of engagement and would be provided to them subsequently. They're going to meet and elect the executive team of that board of directors, as far as the board chair, the secretaries, and the treasuries. They would also determine the kind of committees that they need to assist them, supervise and provide government accountability as far as government spending and investments would be concerned. So again, congratulations to all of you who have been appointed, and I think we are calling on all of you to go out there and source and defend the integrity of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Thank you and good evening.
What I want to say is that many people have been blaming F.R.A and the soldiers that he sent to kill. One of the reasons we should know is that La République du Cameroon is not a free country yet. It's still being controlled by the French. So as we're speaking right now, the French are on the background watching what is happening, directing them, controlling them, telling them what to say. I think that's why that's why F.R.A can even come out and say what he's saying. Or what he said. He should have said something. If he was a true leader leading his people, the first day that things happened, he would have come out and say what is going on and talk to his people. But he did not talk to his people because obviously they